My Daisy. What had I done? My one and only chance to have a fairy of my own, and I'd thrown it away. I dragged myself out of bed. The daisy chain Charlotte had given me lay on my dresser. It was starting to wilt already, and one of the daisies had come loose. "I'm not going to lose you on top of everything else," I said, glancing around for something to put it in. This daisy chain represented my friendship with Charlotte. I wasn't about to let it die before she'd even left. I scrabbled around in the cupboard under my dresser and found a small egg cup with a swirly green pattern around the top and purple and blue spots all around the sides. I'd won it in the egg and spoon race at Easter. That would do. I filled it with water from the glass on my bedside table and put the stray daisy in it. It seemed to perk up right away. "That's better," I said, and went downstairs. Mom was in the kitchen, sewing up a hole in a child-sized policeman's outfit while she drank a cup of coffee. Mom works in a costume shop in the afternoons, as well as running the business with Dad, so seeing her fixing a policeman's outfit over coffee wasn't as unusual as it might sound. "How come you're up?" I asked. Mom and Dad don't normally get up before me. I'm nearly always awake first, followed by Mom, who usually gets up while I'm fixing myself some breakfast, or what passes for breakfast in our house. Sugar-free, additive-free, taste-free muesli that most people would give to their pet rabbit, or organic rye toast that's a bit like eating thinly sliced bricks. Mom gets all our food from this shop called Leaven Heaven, where everything is organic and fair trade, and generally lacking in taste, flavor, and chewability. Breakfast at our house is not the most exciting event in the world. Mom spends most of the morning drinking coffee and shuffling around in her nightgown. Dad gets up and throws some clothes on just in time to bundle himself into the van and drive me to school. You wouldn't exactly call either of them morning people. "Had to fix this outfit. We've got a little boy coming in to pick it up today for a birthday party," Mom said. "Anyway, I couldn't sleep," she added, draining her cup and getting up to refill it. "How come?" "Oh, one thing and another. Your dad woke me in the middle of the night, saying he heard noises." "Noises?" Had he heard me creeping out of the house in the night? Was I going to be in trouble? Not that Mom and Dad are big on punishments, or discipline, or school. My parents are what you could call free spirits. They go with the flow and don't get too bothered by the kinds of things most people's parents get worked up about. I hardly ever get into trouble anyway. It's not really my thing. But on the odd occasions when I accidentally do something I shouldn't have, all that happens is that we sit around the kitchen table and talk about it. Sometimes that makes me want to do something really bad, just to find out how they'd react. "I think he's finally losing his marbles. What he's got left of them," Mom said with a laugh. "Said he thought he heard things going on in the backyard." "Really?" I said quickly, crossing the kitchen and opening the fridge so I could hide my burning face. "What time?" "Well, the first time he woke up was at midnight." I said as casually as I could. "Here we go. We'll be having one of those discussions later. I'll have to look them both in the eye and explain why I left the house in the middle of the night, and they'll look at me with those sorrowful expressions that say, 'Where did we go wrong?' Honestly, why can't they just ground me like normal parents?" "But it went on much later than that, at least for an hour," he said. "Huh?" "But I was back in bed by 10 past midnight." "Yes, he said he heard this noise out back. Not that I heard anything. Mind you, I could sleep through a bomb going off. Remember that time, and what did he hear, Mom?" I burst in before she was off on one of her tangents. Honestly, Mom takes forever to tell a story. She gets sidetracked so many times that she usually forgets where she started. "Now, don't say anything, because it might have been the wine he had before we went to bed. You know he's not a big drinker, but the party yesterday went so well."